And I would like to thank Dr. Sudha Vaddadi and Natraj Vaddadi for their fantastic presentation on geotrails in the Deccan Volcanic Province and also further south. Thank you so much. I know you have done a wonderful job of not only geotrails, but also in popularizing earth sciences among common people and taking this earth science to school students. Thank you. I would like to mention to all of you, ladies and gentlemen, that these presentations are available on YouTube. In case you missed out on this, the initial part, the link is already given, and you can go and watch on the YouTube. You can also encourage others who are interested in these things to go to YouTube and watch these videos. That'll be very nice, okay? Now the floor is open for discussion, but before that, I would like the moderators to give their comments, their opinions, and their impressions about these two talks. First, Dr. Om Bhargava ji. Please unmute your mic. We cannot hear you yet.
Bhargava sir?
Please unmute your mic.
Yeah, I think he might take some time.
Okay.
Please, let's go to the next one.
Dada to give his comments, his impressions. Dada is there.
Ravi Garu, you can unmute him.
From my
Professor
side,
Banerjee, are you ready? Please go ahead, Dada.
Okay. Yeah, I enjoyed the video, both the videos very nicely. It was wonderfully presented, especially did a wonderful job. In fact, this is how a geopark should be identified. The identification, if you see many French geoparks, they all have similar type of trails and with similar type description. And I really like the way they have presented their whole setup, that how to go about 1 day trip, 2 day trip, 3 day trip, like that, and exactly showing things of geological interest and historical interest and cultural interest all together. It's a beautiful way, and I think this is almost a ready-made thing for make a presentation or make a what do you call ask UNESCO to start their evaluation of this particular area for a geopark. And of course, second one is not. I mean, much less said the better, because it is a wonderful speech. He's doing it very well. He has been encouraging young children all over the world, running competitions and other things. So he knows how to tackle young people and also uninitiated people. So it was wonderful the way he presented it. I like it very much. Thank you, Shankar.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
For your comments, yes. Dr. Rasik Ravindra ji, may I call upon you to give your impressions?
Thank you, sir. I will echo the same word that Dada has said. Both the presentations are very good. And the voiceover that you gave to your brother, Prakash, it was also good. We can see that it was you who was speaking. And some of the points were really very good because most of these things like geotourism and things like that, they will be taken up only by the non-geologist people. And geologists will only like to focus on the points of geological interest. But unless the non-geologists take part in such trips, the things will not succeed. And I think the geoheritage, geoconservation, all these aspects can only be achieved if we can develop some good geoparks. Because that will not only be taking care of the geological inputs, they will also have, as you said in your last slide, the archaeological parts, the educational part, even some different parts for tourism, like cultural tourism, archaeological tourism, maybe some spiritual tourism, like visiting temples and some forts and caves. So these things are very good, and it's very unfortunate that we don't have even a single geopark. Whereas countries like China, they have more than 40, Europe and North America have more than 75 or so. So I think the time has come when we should all join together, not only one group of this geoheritage group. We have 4 or 5 different groups working on the same theme. I think this is the time that all these groups come together, whether it is Techies group, or it is a Lucknow group, or it is our group over here, or it is Himalayan group. I think the need of the hour is that we all should come together and jointly take up the issue of the geopark with the government, with the policymakers, because it has got a huge economical benefit also for the local people, those who will be living in that geopark. I think with this, I will stop here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Rasik Ravindra ji. And now I think Professor Dr. Bhargava ji has unmuted his mic. So may we have your impressions, please?
Shankar Sahab has defined the way the geopark should be described, written and publicized. That's the ideal way to do it. And I'm really enamored. I would just like to add one more thing, that there could be, some comics also written like Amar Chitra Katha.
Yes.
For the children, because some of your brochures may not interest the children, but the comics would. And then I have seen some places that they advertised on the T-shirts also. And regarding the first presentation, I hope in future they will follow what Shankar Sahab has said, more visual and less of audio, because at times it becomes monotonous. So more figures, more photographs will certainly be more interesting for the layman. See, the geologist can understand, but you are not writing for geologists. You are writing for the layman. And I must congratulate both the contributors. I said it's an excellent way of doing it, and I really enjoyed. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
थोड़ा सेंटर में आपका आईफोन जो है, आईपैड थोड़ा सेंटर कीजिए सर, आपका चेहरा. हाँ, अभी ठीक हो गया सर. Thank you sir, Bhargava sir, for all your comments.
Thank you. That's fine. Yeah. There are some questions. I think so somebody raised his hand. Virtual hand.
Partha Sarthi sir.
Partha Sarthi sir. Please come on and pose your question.
Good evening, Mr. Shankar and others. At the outset, I congratulate both Mr. Natraj and Mrs. Sudha for their excellent presentation. I think they are doing great service to the geotourism aspect. And the presentation by Mr. Prakash is really fantastic. I think what is needed is a 100% integration of work of Natraj and Sudha with Mr. Prakash's ideas. And then to add to that, Dr. Bhargava's suggestion of having Amar Chitra stories like thing. So to make it more popular to the public, general public, not restricted to geologists or geocommunity as such, that is the best way. And I think this needs support from the governmental agencies also, and a lot of agencies, because they themselves cannot do it, all these things. But then it's a good attempt by Sudha and Natraj. I would welcome them to continue them in the same way. And I would like to join your trip whenever you are planning to Lonavala, what is it, Lonar Lake.
Yes.
Sure, sir.
Sure, sir.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Dr. Narendra Prasad. Please come up with
Good
your
evening.
point or query.
Good evening, sir. So,
Good evening.
I must congratulate Dr. Natraj and Dr. Sudha for their excellent presentation. Very nice. And of course, the last one for commoners, the kind of information that is needed, that was very nicely extolled. As an ecologist, I would like to say that Western Ghats area is already a World Heritage Site. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. What needs to be done is that geology as a community, we need to sort of dovetail or integrate that, with biodiversity, since it's already biodiversity heritage sites all over the Western Ghats, not just the Pune, Ahmednagar, but entire Western Ghats. It makes sense, and it makes probably easier to sell the idea of this and integrate these both together, not just as an add-on kind of a feature, like some animals or some plants and things like that. So there are very good heritage sites are identified actually. So you need to think of a mechanism where we can talk to each other and then sell this entire concept. Since it's already a World Heritage Site, UNESCO World Heritage Site, biodiversity-wise, it's a lot more. It makes it easier to integrate this with geology and geotourism. This Pune Ahmednagar thing, what Dr. Sudha and Dr. Natraj have described is really very interesting, because you need to integrate some kind of a spiritual dimensions in that, because this entire locality is loaded with spiritual anecdotes and spiritual history actually. It's going to come in prominence in the coming years very prominently. And I would also encourage, apart from all other things that I've talked, the spiritual heritage is also a great kind of a thing for this, at least this section of the thing, especially for those sections that Natraj was describing. This is what I would like to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Yes.
So the side issues that I mentioned are only a few, but there are several more, as Dr. Narendra Prasad and others mentioned. Now we will have Ravi Garu to have his comment or question.
Yeah, it is not a comment. I'm just adding to my own fellow open source geospatial executive, Dr. Narendra Prasad, along with Dr. Professor Madhav Gadgil. We had a webinar, if you remember. In the very first series of webinar, I think there was the NOSEC, very first one. We had a Western Ghats ecology. We had one webinar, and Dr. Narendra Prasad was the chairperson for it, and the resource person, Padma Bhushan Madhav Gadkar. The entire Western Ghat ecosystem, the open source geospatial India, for which I am a fellow of Dr. Narendra Prasad. We have the entire geospatial data, and along with Natraj and Sudha, Dr. Sudha and Natraj Vaddadi, we would like to extend it for the entire thing, and a very good future prospect. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Padmini Patel, please come on.
Yeah, good evening, and I don't have the doctor title. I'm just.
But I've given an honorary doctorate, no problem.
I'm just a rock lover and also a member of the Society to Save Rocks, along with Mr. Ravi Kumar from Hyderabad. So we've been doing these rock walks now in Hyderabad for 26 years, every month on the third Sunday of the month. So maybe with everybody's help and with Sudha and Natraj's help, we could also make these more like the geo trails that they have made, because we know the routes. We don't know that much of geology, but Mr. Ravi Kumar can add to that. And we can also, pinpoint the locations, historical places and things, and make it, a more authentic geo trail. So I think with everyone's help, we'll be able to, put that on track. So thank you for the two wonderful presentations.
Thank you, ma'am. We would like to come for one of those trails then.
Yeah.
Oh yes, any third Sunday of the month throughout the year it's going on. So please join us.
And in a way, Hyderabad is a hometown for me, so.
Okay, fantastic. You must come then. Thank you.
Thank you.
So these are the types of
collaboration and intermingling of ideas that is needed for our work.
Yes. Yeah, very true, very true.
Thank you. Sudhaji, you wanted to say something?
Natraj wants to say something.
Actually, I want to say something. As always. Yeah, I mean, we've been doing this geotrails more as a part of our mission for popularizing earth science. And like Dr. Prakash rightly mentioned, this is not aimed at geologists. This was aimed more at the laymen. We don't want to make them geologists, but we want them to appreciate the beauty and the importance of geoscience in a common man's life. I mean, everywhere you see metros being built, bridges being built, roads being built, but you ask them what goes behind this and nobody knows. So that's where our focus is. And when it comes to geotrails, of course, being geologist is passion. And for us, what is very encouraging is the fact that we have people from the ages of 7 to 70 accompanying us. And Ravindra has been a staunch supporter and has always been on our trail. But, just the last one, which we took in November, we had a busload, about 50 of them, most of them young school children. Very enthusiastic, very eager to learn, not just about geology, but history. There were a lot of questions on Malhargarh, surprisingly, and on the rock-cut caves of Shirwal by the Buddhists. So, very rightly pointed out by the present here that we need to integrate all this, and the side dishes are very, very important, definitely. One observation that we've had over this 6-7 years, and much before that when we have been traveling, is the fact that we still need a huge amount of local and government support. The example of Baja Caves, it's impossible to find a toilet. And for ladies it becomes a huge issue. So we do need to get in some kind of government help or local villagers and all, and maybe gains from the tourism activity, train them as guides, let them put up some stalls with souvenirs like T-shirts and local artifacts and stuff like that. And this will be one more step towards getting to our aim of geoparks on the international lines.
And encourage homestays in these remote areas so that people can stay there and be close to nature. They can understand, they will understand the culture, the eating habits, everything. We are trying to talk to people.
Yeah, it is, Dada was away, so Dheerasda was away, I muted him. So I wanted to, he unmuted again. So I just wanted to convey to him. Just one point, Professor Shankar, I won't take much time. Padmini Patel, who just taught, she belongs to a simple NGO, and it says it all. Save rocks. Save rocks.
Hello, can I request all of the people who are not talking to mute their mics, please?
Yeah.
I cannot hear Ravi Garu properly.
Yeah.
Please mute your microphones. I will mute mine because I'm not going to speak now. Bhargava, can you mute your microphone?
I can't do it. You have to do it at your end.
Maybe you can ask somebody at home to help you.
I'm alone here.
Okay, we'll bear with that. Go ahead, Ravi Garu.
Yeah, I have muted Bhargava sir. I'll again take care of it. So, Padmini Patel and me, we belong to one society known as, the name says it all, Save Rocks. Save Rocks equals save geoheritage, promote geotourism, bring in geoparks for Prakash. So we are all together, and this is the only in the entire country who take rock walks. Just walk on the rocks. They do not know what kind of a rock it is and all that. And it is my great pleasure that I have joined them, of course, since more than a couple of years. And I explained to them what is a granite and what is a pegmatite and how the nubbins and tors are formed. Really, my retired life, I'm very happy that I'm part of Save Rocks. Thank you.
Thank you, Ravi Garu. Dada, it's your turn now.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask Vaddadi couple whether doing all those work and then finding geology and historical sites and everything on the trails, are you in contact with the authorities to knit them together so that we can prepare a proposal for a geopark? Because what you have been doing is to make aware of the science, aware of geology, aware of things. But simultaneously, we have to work for the geopark also, and for that we have to get hold of the authorities how to go about it. Because you link it up with certain things have to be done, certain formalities have to be followed. So whether this such a good work which they have done it should be knit together in one combined sort of a trail, a 2-3 trails together to form a geopark. So I just wanted to know whether they are in contact with authorities or not.
No, not right now, sir.
Not with the authorities, not with...
Start doing it, because ultimately our aim is not only to educate scientists, but we also to have a geopark. Because otherwise, in every meeting we will say that China has 50 and we don't have any. China has 60 and we don't have any. Every time we will be saying this thing. So we must have something. So we must start doing it.
Yes, sure, sir. Yes, sir.
So we're not in touch with the authorities, but what we're trying to do is to get in touch with the local people wherever we go.
Yeah.
And of course, the attempts are very at a very nascent stage, but we try to involve at least there are people who come to watch us when we go there in a group, and we then try to explain to them what we're doing. That's basically
because you have done a wonderful work.
Yeah,
you have done a wonderful work, because that really this is the way the geopark should be. Because geopark should have all the elements. And that is how you have decided. So it should be all knit into a one unit. So that look, you one person enters from here and to see the lava tunnels. The next he goes and see this temple. Now then he goes to see. So all those things should be knit into a one single story, and then projected before the authorities that look, we want to have a sort of this area to be covered as a geopark.
Right,
we need not have a boundary. We don't need to have a boundary or a boundary wall against it, because no geopark has got a boundary wall. So we must decide about that, because you have done wonderful work, and I'm really impressed with the type. And this is the type of work many people who are doing it. They think that one in geological structure, they find it and they think there will be a geopark around that. It is not like that. It can't be. You say you will say a geological arch and there will be a geopark. It cannot have like that. Geopark has to have number of elements into that. And that is what you have done it. And this is the only presentation which I have seen where they have incorporated so many things together.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah, we will definitely
start with the attempts.
No, I will help you. Wherever there is a need, I can help you. I can in contact. There are many other places where I can get you in contact with. So we must start with that. At least we start initiative. Let have a nucleus somewhere in India. I mean, whether it is a north or a south or a east or west, there should be somewhere.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes,
okay.
We'll definitely.
Thank you so much. I just put the link to today's program that is available on YouTube in the chat box. Somebody asked whether we can get an access to this, so it's there in the chat box. Please use that link to go to the program on YouTube. Next we have a John McAdam. Please come on, John. As we do not know you, many of us do not know you well, please introduce yourself first and then make your point, your query. John, please.
I'm trying to get on. That's my
Yes, John, we would also like to see you.
mic. That's my... Yeah. I'm trying to get so I can see me. Yeah, so come on, camera.
It's okay. Please speak up.
Not to worry. Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, I'm a I'm a geologist, but I've been a lecturer, I've been a teacher, but also I'm an interpreter. I was trained by the National Park Service in America, and I love Tali. That was brilliant. That talk. Wow. Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, we do hear you, John.
Sorry.
Carry on, John.
Yeah, so I write stuff for the public, and what I would add to the that excellent talk on communication was that you want to, I think it's a good idea to make things interactive, so you're asking people questions. It's quite surprising if you teach people a little geology at a site, they can work out some more. They can work out what we can hear me. Yeah, sure, good. So I'm sure you do. So people can see where the next other faults are. You point out one fault. You say, can you see other faults? And then later on, you have an answer on the next page, or you also have the answer on a second panel or something like that. And the other thing I would say is show your drafts of your leaflets or your panels to normal people, as well as geologists to check that they're happy that you've got the geology right, despite the fact you made it simple, but also normal people, so they're happy with it. And they will tell you if they're not, and they will tell you, what are you talking about, or whatever. I asked my neighbor, who's a mechanic, and he's really useful, because he's totally up and start again. Anyway, I like Tali. I'm going to use that when I give a workshop on communication. Thank you very much. And thanks for inviting me. I hope you managed to hear that.
Thank you, John. Now, Dr. Uma Magal wants to say something.
Oh, no, not at all. Thank you so much. This has been just wonderful. I didn't raise my hand, but thank you so much.
Raised.
Oh, gosh, that was my mistake.
I'm kidding.
I'm so sorry.
Ravi Garu said, you wanted to discuss some things.
Yeah, Uma, please talk about your wonderful film, Other Kohinoors, that has motivated a lot of people in Hyderabad with rap songs in Telugu to go with the granite buildings and cars. What is your next production? Will you go to the Deccan Traps of Pune for a production, or where do you want to?
Oh, I will go if you take me.
If you can switch on your
I would
camera,
love to go.
Yeah, just put on your camera.
Sorry, I have
mind. If you don't mind.
Yes. I'm sorry, I have my camera off.
Okay.
Is it on?
Yes.
Yeah,
Good to
it
see you.
is. It is. It is.
Hi,
Good.
Hello.
lovely to see you all. I just joined because Ravi Garu invited me, and he posted about it, and I was delighted to know about these tours that you do. And thank you so much for telling us about these tours. I will definitely join at some point and bring my husband and children as well.
That'd be nice.
So other Kohinoors, Ravi Garu, just to answer your query. So other Kohinoors is a documentary film that we've made about the rocks of Hyderabad. It's a love letter to the rocks of Hyderabad. That's how we put it, and it really incorporates all the culture and historical elements that all have also been mentioning. I'm so happy to hear that, because that's what we have been finding gets a response from people. And so you're welcome to come to the website. I'll be happy to send you the link to the film. And Ravi Garu was kind. He came to the screening a few weeks back and went to our beautiful rocks of Khajagura. And you can tell them more about the geology of that, Ravi Garu. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Ravi Garu, please share all the links that you will receive with all of us.
Yeah, sure, sir. Sure, sir. We will share the links.
Yes.
Definitely. And let's see the topic, some more people to add to the discussion.
Yeah. There are no further queries, I see.
Hey, Ashwadha, where are you? You're escaping.
No, sir, I'm here.
Then why are you quiet? Put on your camera.
I was just listening to everyone.
Yeah, put on your camera. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. Now we can hear from our child prodigy, who is there to really promote geoheritage, geotourism, and her love is fossils. And she has been doing a lot of work, showing children, conducting, you see, at her home, I believe. Is that your home, Ashwadha?
Yes, sir, I have shifted to a new house. My museum is now separate. It is in a separate home. I've arranged a separate museum.
You are lucky. Biju, your father, is so considerate that he has taken a bigger house for you.
I just used up some amount of the money that I got for Pradhan Mantri Award for 2022. I used that up. Yes, on the year of 2020.
You deserve an applause.
Thank
applause. Yeah, it is. What are your future projects? Just talk for a couple of minutes.
Okay.
Future projects?
Yeah, sure. So, good evening, all. Namaste. I am Masweta Biju. Now I'm doing my 11th grade, just moved into 11th grade after completing 10th. I'm a young paleontologist of India. I've been collecting fossils. I've so far collected 136 fossils, and I've been educating students and others globally regarding the field of paleontology. So far, I've educated 20,000 students and others. Recently, on account of Mary Anning's birth anniversary on 21st of May, I had conducted an summer camp workshop for students above age 10 who are truly interested towards the field of paleontology. And it was 9 participants had joined out of 20 registrations. We filtered them out based upon their true interest, and then we finally got nine number of students. It was in a very long session, just 1 day session, 10:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. It included PPT session, some activities, which are a bit theoretical and strict to the rules of paleontology as and how I was guided through. And that was my recent update. And on now, since I'm in residential school now for 11th and 12th. I'm in residential. So I couldn't participate a lot on. My holidays were supposed to end by 29th of May. Uh, but it got extended to June 8th because of the heavy condition of climate here. So I thought of having some more PPT sessions, seminar sessions within this period of time. On June 3rd, again, I'll be hosting an online workshop for students below age 10 because during the registration, there were many students who were below age 10 who wanted to join in. But unfortunately, I couldn't at that point of time because the concept that I had to cover was a bit too out of their age. I thought it wouldn't help them out. So for students below age 10, I'll be conducting a session through online because globally they had asked for it. On June 3rd, that is this Saturday. Spectators are always welcome, so I welcome everyone to join there.
You're so enterprising, Ashwata.
So,
all the best in your efforts.
Professor Shankar, if I may suggest, we have friends from one part of India, Odisha. We have Dr. Nanda. Dr. Nanda, sir, are you there? Dr. Nanda, Dr. B.M. Farooq, and Girija Mahapatra. They have been exponents for Geoheritage of Odisha. Now, in the absence of Dr. Nanda, may I request Dr. Farooq to say a few words about the present presentations and about what you plan in future.
Yes, please. Dr. Farooq.
Unmute your mic, Farooq.
Also switch on
Good
your
evening.
camera.
I think I have switched on.
Yes.
Good evening, all of you.
Good evening.
I must begin with congratulating both the speakers today, Dr. Natraj and Sudha Vaddadi. It was wonderful. I think that is one geotrail which may get a recognition of Geopark in the near future, which I hope and I wish also. Then the part 2 of the presentation today by Mr. Shankar to his co-twin was a wonderful presentation. You have, it is an innovation in this and to tell what a geopark should be from a common man's point of view. That was wonderful. Coming to, I'm just, you have roused my interest when Dr. Vaddadi, you mentioned about your future plan in Varkala.
Yeah.
So I would like to share, you may be aware of it, just a little north of Varkala, those cliff you have there. There's a place called Idavai where you can get notches of the high sea level stands of late Holocene.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, they're beautifully carved notches are there. And maybe I can even share the photographs I have with me.
That'll be nice.
I did some field work there. So those are the late Holocene high sea level stands imprinted on the cliff, promontories, and there's Varkala formations, in fact. Okay, that you can include that also as a part of your trail.
Sure.
And coming to what we are doing in Odisha, yes, we have identified some parts southern in the coastal part of Odisha surrounding Chilka Lagoon. But then, I don't know, we have got to do some more work on that before we come to make a good presentation on that. We are lacking some of the, photographs of most of the places. But we have conceptualized, and maybe in coming future, sometime in future, we can make a presentation on what we have done, including Konarak, from Konarak to sea level changes, from Konarak to then habitats, of 3,800-year-old habitat, which has the earliest date of rice plantation. And this is following, 4,200 cool phase of Meghalayan stage. So these two can be correlated, The oldest rice plantation has been dated to be 3,800 years in Odisha, in that part of Odisha, just on the coastal belt. So these are what we have actually thought of. These are the elements which we would like to include in our geopark. Suppose, future geopark. I think that's all I have to say. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
Shankar,
Dr. Farooq Saab. Thank you.
yeah,
And
Shankar
I've
Saab.
heard your earlier presentations, which were very interesting. I think,
Thank you.
we should proceed with making a proposal, right?
Okay, yeah.
As Dada said, we should start, pushing proposals, work on them. Otherwise,
Right.
we'll keep on hearing in the next webinar, so many geoparks in China, etc., etc. So let's begin. Thank you. Yes, Ravi Garu.
Yeah, our good friend, Secretary of Paleontological Society of India, Vijay Mishra, is joining from Brunei. Hello, how are you, Vijay?
Hello, good evening to everybody. Though it's quite late here, I congratulate Dr. Ravi sir, and specifically the today's speakers, Dr. Sudha and Natraj Vaddadi sir, and Shankar sir, and specifically his brother, Mr. Prakash. Me, mainly from the paleontological side, I will personally say that yes, we as a geologist have been speaking about the geology, and geology. But certain areas have to be preserved. In paleontology, yes, we are trying a lot. But in all the other aspects, as Dr. Vaddadis have shown very interesting geotrails, and the whole of the Western Ghat is a World Heritage Site, biodiversity specifically. We have to have some geological sites conserved and preserved well within the Western Ghat, because that is very important. We may speak and we may inform and tell to innumerable students that these features are their geological features, but we have failed. I have been in JSI for 4 decades or so, and we have declared so many geological monuments. But yes, we have yet to have a geopark of the UNESCO standard. So let us have the somehow involve the local authorities, local state governments, panchayat, that certain areas, a big area, it will be always very, very difficult. Have a very small area in mind, get it protected. All the states have their forest laws where the areas can be demarcated and declared as protected. In several areas, as in Himachal, we have seen to it that the Shivalik Fossil Park, it is protected within the state, yes. And in other areas also, in Gujarat, Dr. Mohabe is doing it, that Raholi. In central India, Vishal Verma and his team is doing it. So please let us have certain areas get protected from by the local available laws. We don't know when we are going to have a geodiversity or geoconservation act that will take several years. But we can approach the state governments, specifically through the forest departments, and it can be done. And I being from paleontology, yes, I'm trying our level best that certain paleontological areas are getting protected. Let's hope. So thank you very much. Thank you, Ravi sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Anybody else who would like to say something?
Can I say something, sir?
Sure, sure.
Possibly, you know that the Rajasthan government has approached some of the officers to prepare a report for on the UNESCO standard for making Zavare National Park, Geopark. So the proposal is going to be framed, I think, within this week, and there are people who are going to submit their proposal to the Department of Tourism, and through the Department of Tourism, it will go to the Chief Secretary of Rajasthan. So things are moving. As Dr. Banerjee was saying, the proposals are ready, but it takes time. The Bagh bed, Bagh area in the Dhar district of Madhya Pradesh is also one of the area where the forest department is taking a lot of interest. And the director of forest there, she's a lady, and she has moved a very big proposal, and that may be in the line for on the same standard of the UNESCO Geopark. So at least we can have at least two to begin with, for which the government, state governments are moving at a good rate. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Bhargava Sahab, wanted to say something?
The Natraj Sahab and Ma'am Sudha, they presented the matter which is ideal for any geopark. It had all the ingredients which are needed or required for a geopark. Now the question is to market it. Marketing is very important. As Dr. Banerjee also suggested that how do we go ahead and make it acceptable to the government? Because see, privately we just can't do it. There has to be someone to sponsor. So the most important thing is the selling your idea. How do we do it? And the way I think Shankar Sahab has suggested that may be the ideal way to do it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Anything else, ladies and gentlemen? Ravi Garu, if it is okay with you, then...
Yeah. It's a good meet, sir. And as
wait, John raised his hand.
Go ahead.
John, please come on. John, it's your chance to speak up.
Yeah. Hello, I'm a long way away, and there's lots of copper wire between you and me, so it's very slow. Yeah, I think UNESCO is very impressed if the feeling comes from local people, so it's bottom up. So local people have been excited about their geoheritage, like Uma is doing in Hyderabad, that sort of thing. And lots of people coming, and local tourism, people saying, hey, can we go further? We'd like visitors to come. I think UNESCO is much more impressed with that sort of thing than a government saying, we will have a geopark here. So I think UNESCO really like the bottom-up approach. That's my understanding. I've been involved. I'm not in a geopark. I've been involved in geoparks now for 25 years, since even before UNESCO started them. Okay, we should have had a geopark where I live, but didn't happen. So yeah, bottom up, and a geopark also has to be an area that the geopark will.
Okay. Thank you. Shall we call it a day, Ravi Garu? Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I would like
We
to
had a
say
nice-
thank you to Sudha and Natraj and to Prakash and to all of the people who joined us to celebrate the third
Nagesh, put on your
anniversary.
camera, Nagesh. Put on your
Yes.
camera. Nagesh.
And also like to thank the technical team, Nageshwaran, Ravi Kumar, Garu, and Soniya.
Soniya and Arvinth.
Arvind, yes. All of you, thank you so much for giving your helping hand to make it possible and to make it a successful event. I'm very glad that we got wonderful suggestions and comments on how we can improve things. And thank you, Ravi Garu, for making me the anchor. Ravi Garu thought that Shankar was in the Department of Marine Geology, so he knows how to anchor a ship. So I don't know how well I anchored this particular program, but thanks for counting on me. And I'll be there whenever you want, all right? Thank you so much and namaste. Good night. Have a nice